With college football starting this weekend and Major League Playoff baseball just around the corner, I've been thinking a lot about teams lately. And I've also been thinking a lot about the differing opinions that people have about what's going to happen to the housing market here in the United States. I have been watching tons of YouTube videos, and there's a lot of opinions out there, and some people think the market's going to crash, and they provide some pretty good evidence to substantiate that claim. And then there's also people who say, hey, we're going to be just fine, calm down. So it's sort of the battle between the bears and the bulls. People who are bearish, who think that the market's going to crash and all hell is going to break loose, and also the people that are bulls who think we're going to be fine. So today we're going to try to decipher what's currently happening in the Atlanta, Marietta, and national markets so that you can make an educated decision on what you think is going to happen. Which team is going to be right? Let's find out in today's video. Hey, so before we get started, the question of the day is, do you think it's going to be a bear market? Are prices going to start going down? Are we going to crash? Or a bull market? Let me know in the comments down below. I partner with a great research company that looks at every single sale in the nation and analyzes the data on a weekly basis so that we can look at trends to have a better idea of where we're going in the future. And one of the best things that they offer is what they call their Market Action Index. And all it is it's a fancy algorithm that takes all of the trends and decides if we're leaning more towards a buyer's market or a seller's market. Let's start by looking at the index for the United States. And we've been hovering right around 50, which is still a strong seller's market for the last couple weeks. And for a while we were seeing, if you look here, inventory was increasing, but it's sort of started to level off nationally, which has some industry experts wondering if maybe the market has cooled a little bit and we might start seeing inventory levels level out and prices stabilize a little bit more. And now let's check out Atlanta. Atlanta is at 42 index, which means that they are slowly, week by week, moving closer and closer to a buyer's market. So what does that mean? Well, that means if you're thinking about buying something in Atlanta, you are no longer probably going to go up against a lot of other buyers looking at the same property, making multiple offers, and you may be able to negotiate off that price a little bit, as well as ask for that inspection that you so desperately need, as well as some contingencies. So that's good news if you're a buyer right now. And if you're a seller in Atlanta, we are still have a little slight seller's advantage. Homes that are priced correctly and in great areas are receiving offers still and are still getting decent prices. Now the index in Marietta is higher than the nation and in Atlanta at 52. It's still a strong seller's market here. But if you look at the Market Action Index trends over the last few weeks, it's continued to go down, down, down. So I am estimating that in Marietta, we're just lagging behind the nation and Atlanta a little bit, and we're gonna still see some more push towards a buyer's market over the next few weeks. Let's watch it. Nationally, we've seen the number of homes available for buyers to buy or inventory continue to go up since we reached record level lows in April. And then watch this line, it's been going up ever since that, which means more and more people are coming on the market or they're not selling. And we are seeing a little bit of a flattening over these last couple weeks. So we're gonna have to watch nationally what's happening, and then let's compare that to Atlanta. Atlanta as well reached its low in May, and we're still seeing more and more inventory come on the market. And last but not least, let's go to Marietta, same as Atlanta. We're still, just to give you a perspective, in Marietta we have 569 homes for sale, which if you go back to the same time period, September of 2019, that's almost half the inventory that we had just a couple years ago. What does that mean? That means that while inventory levels are increasing, buyers still do not have a lot of choices when they go to buy a house, especially in our lower price ranges. That's still allowing the sellers to get decent prices for their homes. But there has been waning buyer demand. So how are these sellers responding to fewer buyers coming into their house and them being on the market longer and longer? Well, they're responding with doing price reductions. And a lot of us like to say it's a price correction because probably when they listed a few weeks ago, or maybe they didn't get very good counsel, they did not take into account that there are fewer buyers in the market right now. And so they priced their house aggressively higher than it probably should have been. So we're starting to see more and more price decreases in our market. Let's look specifically at Marietta. The number of listings that are out there that had a price reduction at some point while listed has been going up consistently since about the end of June. The median list price is one of the most useful tools for predicting what's going to happen in the future, because depending on what homes are listed for today is going to give us an idea of what we're going to see prices at 30 to 60 days from now. So nationally, we saw prices increase all this year until the last couple months. I think it's since July the 1st. Then prices started to level off. So I think nationally, sellers are realizing that it's got to be a little bit less aggressive in their pricing. Now let's compare that with Marietta, and let's dive into this report. As you can see, Marietta has experienced rapid price increase over the last 6 months, and only till just recently have we seen some flattening or even declining. So I feel like Marietta might be lagging the national numbers a little bit, or perhaps Marietta has just a stronger housing market. I often say that comparing the national numbers to any specific market is sort of like saying, well, it's an average of 70 degrees in the United States right now. That doesn't really give you an idea of how it is in your very neighborhood. So if you would like to know what it's like specifically in your neighborhood, say you live in zip code 30064, you can run a report for your particular neighborhood. And I offer this for free. So just go to this website here and log in to get your weekly free report. I've spoken a lot about Marietta throughout this report, so if you're from out of town and you're wondering what it's like living in Marietta, make sure you check out this video that I made where I list 10 things you need to know before moving here.